Morning, people. I thought I would wait until the morning after to give my thoughts on the game yesterday, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and his coaching staff. If I'd done it yesterday, it would have just been a long rant that didn't really make sense. And if I put it in a video like I am today, it would have just been me red-faced, screaming at a camera. The only reason I'm putting it in a video is because I went to write my thoughts out on this group. I got 2 paragraphs in and they were fucking long, and I thought, no one's going to read that. I wouldn't read it. I'd look at it and be like, nah, too long for me. Scroll. Whereas everyone loves watching a video, don't they? Right, the game yesterday. Shocking, embarrassing, pathetic, lethargic. Any words like that you want to use, it fits. Liverpool were better in every single way. Better in front of goal, better in possession, better out of possession, better defensively. Every single aspect of the game, they were better. You know, I just don't, about the game, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say what hasn't already been said, other than embarrassing, pathetic. We are, you would not think that was Manchester United out there yesterday. No chance. So let's move on to my thoughts on Ole. I thought it during the game, and I watched the extended highlights when I woke up this morning. I'm thinking it even more. The players aren't playing for him. It's time to go. The players are not playing for him. When Ole took over from Mourinho, under Mourinho, we was in like the bottom 5 in terms of players that run, distance covered, sprints per 90, presses and stuff like that. We were in the bottom 5. It's the same again this season. We don't run, we don't sprint, we're in the bottom 5. Spurs are also there, that's why they're having a shocking season as well. And that makes me think that the players aren't playing for him. It's either one or two things. The players aren't playing for him because they don't believe he can do it. Like, they don't believe Ole's the guy. Or the even more scary one is Ole's telling them, you don't have to, it's coming from the coach. He's telling them, you don't have to run that much. We keep our shape, shift side to side and counter. That's not going to end well. I think most fans, regardless of who you support, will tell you if you're a team and you don't run a lot, it is going to go very bad for you. And it's going very bad. The draw against Everton, shocking. The loss against Villa, shocking. Yesterday, I'll move on from that. Even the win against Newcastle, we were shocking. Newcastle ran more than us that game. We're just lucky that they're shit. No other way to put it. Villa, they ran more than us. They outplayed us. Wait, we didn't even lose. Did we lose or draw to Villa? I can't even remember. And if it's all like, I believe, the reason I believe that it's the players not playing for Ole is because I personally think Ole's out of his depth, tactically inept, not cut out for this level. But he's not stupid enough to get the players not running. He's not that stupid. He knows that will end bad. Let's move on to the coaching staff. Mike Phelan has had a lot of experience as an assistant manager, served under the greatest of all time, fucking the greatest, and had a lot of hires under him as a first head coach. Oh, that time with Hull was shocking. And it's a theme. Got Hull relegated. And that's a theme that persists throughout our coaching staff. They've all been at a club at a head team coach and been relegated, all but obviously Carrick. Carrick's learning on the job. I'm sorry, we are Manchester United. We're too big, and the expectations are way too high to be carrying anyone. You can't learn on the job. My personal opinion is that Ollie should go. The coaching staff should go, barring maybe Mike Phelan keeps his place there, and Carrick just gets sent to learn his traits in the youth setups. Put him in charge of the under-18s or something. Find a job there for him. Because I think Carrick as a player was brilliant tactically. Brilliant. I think that he will have the tools to become a really good head coach. He just needs to go and learn his traits, learn his playing styles, learn the aspects of coaching a team. And he can do that. We can get away with him doing that in, the under-18s and stuff. We can get away with that. But the rest, they need to go. I'm going to address the press, because I've had this argument with United fans online for a while now, that we don't press, and they would tell me, you're an idiot, you don't know what you're talking about, we do press. If yesterday is what they think a press is, oh my God. Then my advice is either go watch some German football, because they all press. Even the shit teams in Bundesliga, they press, and they do it half good, considering how shit they are. Or just go on YouTube. There's plenty of tactical videos on YouTube that break down how to press, how to play a low block, stuff like that. Tifo Football is a very good channel. All of their videos are based on the Athletic articles. Very good channel. Pretty much, if you want the Athletic but you don't want to pay the subscription fee, subscribe to Tifo Football on YouTube. What else? That press yesterday. That's not a press. Look at teams that press. So obviously the big three: City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Brighton. Southampton, even though they're not very good, they press. We'll continue with that. I'll just use them five as an example. All of their forwards, when an opposition defender has the ball, they sprint at them. We jog in our press. We don't sprint at them, we jog. It happened yesterday for 2 of the goals. I think even 3, actually. We don't sprint, and the reason players sprint is because you force the defender to rush. They'll either just recycle the ball, they'll make a mistake, or they'll play a hopeful pass and we regain possession. When you jog, it gives the defender time to pick their head up, and if they can play a pass that cuts you apart, they play the pass, or they recycle the ball, or they just take you man on, one-on-one. And that's what happened. It's what happens when we press. We just get cut apart, or we just get cut apart because we're easy to play against. Also, with a press, there's what I would call a trigger man. I don't know the actual term for it, but Liverpool have Firmino. City have Kevin De Bruyne. Chelsea have Mason Mount. Brighton have Neil Maupay, which trigger the press. And they don't press all the time, every time the defender has a ball. You'd be shattered by 45 minutes. You would be absolutely shattered. Them players there, they choose when and who to press. We don't have that. Yesterday, sometimes it was Greenwood initiating the press. Other times it was Rashford. Sometimes it was Bruno. If Mason and Rashford are the two that are moving forward first, it should be under Bruno's orders. Ronaldo's not going to do it. He's never done it. He's 36. He's not going to do it. Bruno should be communicating with Mason and Rashford, saying, right, quick, we'll move him. Or he should be communicating before that, saying, wait until so-and-so gets the ball, then we press as a unit. Not just one person running a man down as well. That's a good way to get players shattered, if one person are running a man down. Like, it's a good way to get players shattered. And that is our press. A top coach would not install that. The players. Sort of falls into why I think the players aren't playing for Ollie. And it all comes back to the signing of Donny van der Beek. I was excited when we signed Donny van der Beek. You know, him, Frankie de Jong, Matthias de Ligt, Hakim Ziyech and Dusan Tadic were the heart of that Ajax team. They were brilliant to watch. Ajax are still brilliant to watch, by the way. I'd take their coach any day. I'd take a gamble with him. Ex-Barcelona. No, from Germany. But he's adapted the Barcelona/Ajax way into his system. So it's in my opinion, Ajax's coach is a nice blend of Klopp and Pep. He's a nice blend of them. And I think we would, even if we didn't get the results we want, at least we would get football that is good to watch. Because under Ollie, we've never been good to watch, other than the first 13 games when we went on that run. We were good to watch then, but since then, it's not been good to watch. I don't know what Gary Neville is talking about. I've liked these. I understand what he says when he means I like these set of players, but I don't understand what he says I like watching them. I haven't liked watching them. It's been boring. Counter-attack, prehistoric football, really. Ollie changed what Mourinho was doing for a bit and then reverted back to it. But going back to Donny van der Beek's signing, he comes in for £40 million, right? I understand in the current market, £40 million is not a lot. It's not. It used to be a first 11 world-class superstar. It doesn't get you that no more. But it's still a fair chunk of money, more than a bench warmer. You know, most games, Donny don't even get minutes. He gets minutes in cup games or when we're hopelessly he gets minutes at the 88th minute. Doesn't get a run in the team. So, okay, that doesn't affect the players so much because he's not. I'd say Donny ain't a household name. Whereas Sancho, on the other hand, Sancho has come in. He's struggled to get a decent run in his preferred position on the right wing. Granted, Greenwood has been exceptional out on the right wing this season. But you sign someone for £75 million. That does get you a starting 11 superstar. We sign him for £75 million. He comes in, gets flung on the left, where he looks lost on the left. He doesn't want to cut in like Rashford. He wants to try and play a pass and create. You can do that on the right, because he's right-footed. Can't do that on the left. If you're right-footed on the left, you have to cut in pretty much. Unless you're good with your left foot and you can cut on the outside. But now Rashford's back, he's on the bench. And Pogba's on the bench yesterday. So that's Pogba, £89 million, £90 million, whatever it was. Sancho, £75 million. And Donny van der Beek, £40 million. Watching McFred play. Granted, we paid £50 million for Fred, but as we all know, we got our pants pulled down for that one. I'd probably argue that we got our pants pulled down more in the Fred deal than we did the Maguire deal. Imagine, and that's going to translate with the players. Pogba's a huge influence in that changing room. Sancho is going to be a huge influence because of his price tag and the weight his name carries. And Donny van der Beek's going to support that because he's going through the same thing that Sancho's going through. He's been through it for a year now. And that will rub off on the players. When three players are feeling like that, it will rub off on the players. Bruno might be the guy that's saying, no, we can't have that. But 3 players going against him, Bruno's not going to win that fight. And I think that's what has ultimately caused the players not to play for Ollie. They don't trust him. Why would you trust someone who's got £200 million worth of signings? Granted, one of them wasn't his, but 2 of them are on the bench. Doesn't make sense. What is there anything else I want to say? I think that's it. But that's my thoughts. Why the players ain't playing for him? Why the players aren't playing for him? Our press, the coaching staff. Let's give a quick word on Ollie. He smiled while saying that 5-0 was the darkest day of his career. He smiled. Remember when he was at Cardiff? I remember one interview when he was at Cardiff. It was looking like Brendan Rodgers was going to guide Liverpool to the league title. And I believe it was Cardiff had either just been relegated or it was the game they got relegated. And the reporter asked Ollie how he was feeling about the game. And he kept it short and sweet and he looked pissed that he'd just been relegated. Then he was asked, what do you think of Liverpool looking like they're going to win the league title? And he kept it short and sweet while looking even more pissed off, saying, couldn't care less, and walked off. Now he stands around smiling after a 5-0 fucking defeat, or a draw against a team we should be beating. He's smiling. Or he wants to blame offside and fouls in the build-ups to goals. I'm sorry. There's VAR now. VAR is there. If there's a foul or an offside in a build-up to a goal, they cancel it out. If there ain't, it's a clean goal and it stands. So Ollie doesn't have a leg to stand on when he argues them things. But how he conducts himself on and off the pitch is not good enough. Fergie would sit in his seat at 2-0. If we went 2-0 up, he'd go back to his seat and it's the player's job to either go and score more goals or see the result out. That's their job now. I've got us in front. It's your job now. Ollie sits on his seat the whole game. And if we was losing under Fergie, it'd be fucking shouting, pointing, and doing all sorts of things. You know, Klopp is on the fucking touchline, pacing around, gurning like he spent 2 nights on cocaine. Pep is waving his arms around like a madman that's just broke out of Broadmoor Hospital. If you know Broadmoor, it's a mental home, mental hospital, mental institution, whatever you want to call it. But Pep looks like he's broke out. He's flinging his arms around like a madman. Tuchel brings on subs and then subs them straight back off to make a point. You're not good enough, coming back off. Like, he lets the players know. Whereas Ollie sits there. Imagine you're getting shafted 3-0 inside 20 minutes. You look over at your coach and he's just sitting there on his chair, just sitting there. You're not going to react because the manager's not even reacting. Also, at half-time, what was said? Ollie said in his post-match interview that yesterday when it was at 4-0, it was damage limitation. What was said, because we conceded 5 minutes after the game started again. How we kept it at 5-0 with 10 men, I don't know. And other games, what happened? What happens at half-time? Because with most coaches, and especially with Fergie, fans could see a response at half-time if we needed one. We could see a response and we could see roughly what was said. We wouldn't know exact words what was said, but we would know what points was made at half-time. We can't see that with Ollie. We can't see it. You know? I just don't get where we're going under Ollie. I was on the fence up until Leicester. Ollie in or Ollie out, I didn't know up until Leicester. I'm firmly Ollie out now. It's just not good enough. You can't lose 4-2 to Leicester. Granted, Louis van Gaal lost 5-2 to worse coaching and much worse aside, but you can't lose 4-2 to Leicester, go 2-0 down to Atlanta and luckily claw a 3-2 win after, and then get shafted by Liverpool at home 5-0. It's unforgivable. Mourinho lost his job because we got shafted 3-0 and we was playing in a similar fashion, not running and looking way off the pace. We have the squad, barring one player, to contend for the league title. I believe we need a holding midfielder, maybe another centre-back. I think Maguire, let's clear up on Maguire as well. I think he is good enough to play when he had Varane next to him, or when he's in an England shirt with Stones next to him. He looks good. When he's got Lindelof next to him, he knows he can't leave. He knows that Lindelof's going to get bullied, so he can't leave him alone. He can leave Varane alone. Varane's not going to get bullied, and he's quick along the floor. So, and I believe as well, if you look at you look at City, they've got 3 top centre-backs, Stones, Laporte, Diaz. Look at Bayern Munich, they've got 3 top centre-backs. Look at Juventus, they've got 3 top centre-backs. I think a dominant team has 3 top centre-backs. Like now, Varane's injured and we're fucked. If we had a top centre-back to replace him when he's injured, or just to even rotate Maguire and Varane with, I think we'd be in a much better position. But those are my thoughts. Let me know if you agree, if you disagree, what you disagree on, what you agree on, any points that you think I've missed. And hopefully on Saturday we can, it can't be worse than this. We're playing Spurs, who also don't run, so that is going to be a very boring game to watch. I'll probably just shot myself in the foot and it's going to be like an entertaining end-to-end game. But I can't see that. I can see it being a boring game because neither side want to run a lot. And we're away for that, so it's extra pressure. I don't think Ollie's going to be gone. Neville said last night, I think they will stick with him until... he said until the end of the season. I believe if we get dumped out of the Champions League, or it's mathematically impossible for us to make top 4, I think Ollie's gone. Then I think it should be gone now. But there's pros and cons of getting rid of Ollie now, because if we get rid of Ollie now, we have to rush in an appointment. That is never good. I don't think we have any coaching staff below Ollie that's good enough to be a caretaker manager while we figure out who we're going to appoint. So, and I do not want Conte or Zidane. That's who I've seen mentioned on some Man United fan pages and YouTube channels. They've been the 2 names mentioned. I would not want them. Don't want them. Boring, defensive. Maybe Zidane, because he won 3 Champions League titles in a row when he had Ronaldo in his team. We have Ronaldo. So maybe Zidane. I still wouldn't be happy with it, but maybe we could achieve something with Zidane. But my personal 2 would be, well, I've got 4 managers that I would like, but 2 of them we are definitely not getting. We wouldn't get Pochettino from PSG. He's currently earning a huge salary, and he's coaching Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe. You ain't gonna leave that. If you leave that as a coach, you're seriously stupid. And Nagelsmann, that went to Bayern Munich, young German coach, coaching the biggest team in Germany. We're not prizing him away. He'll either leave if he does bad and gets sacked, or he gets bored. He's won a couple of league titles with Bayern. That's when he'll leave. So the only other 2 is Ten Hag, which I think we could prize him away from Ajax. I think that would be a breath of fresh air for Donny. Or Brendan Rodgers. I think we could get Brendan. I don't care about his Liverpool associations. I really don't care. I wouldn't want. He's not viewed as a legend as Liverpool. It's not like, you know, Everton appointing Benitez. It's not the same. He's not viewed like that, and we're not hiring him directly from Liverpool. Like, at this moment, I wouldn't take Klopp. Wouldn't take him. He's loved by Liverpool fans like Benitez, and it would be coming straight from Liverpool. I wouldn't take Klopp. Maybe, you know, like 5-10 years time, if he's moved on and done other things, maybe. But even then, he's still going to be held in high regard with Liverpool. I wouldn't want that. So Ten Hag and Brendan Rodgers is my picks. Brendan, Leicester have a plan. Ajax play beautiful football. But let me know, who would you want to see appointed if Ollie is sacked? And let me know at any points I've missed, if I've missed any. And obviously let me know if you agree or disagree with anything that I've said. Peace.